frisk is very near and dear to me. I grew up, as I said before, in Virginia. I went to college in Richmond, and I will tell you, for those of you who don't believe it's possible to be stopped driving while black, it's a very sobering thing. When you're 18 years old and you're driving around Route 1 in 1981 and you see a gas station from the 60s with the sign colored on the bottom of it. It's very sobering. So I think this is a very important issue, and I do remember the bad old days, and I do walk around in my flip-flops, Dave, late at night, by the way. And I am happy that we have that, and because I was here in the bad old days, and no one wants to go back to the days of 2,200 murders in a year, but it's one of the reasons why last year on the community board, I introduced a resolution that I'm very, very proud to say was passed by the Community Board 8 that signed on to the Father's Day March, ahead of the curve, because we knew that there was racial profiling. And I say this as someone with a public policy degree and someone with a law degree, because Terry v. Ohio in 1968, not to do a law lesson, but that's the case that started the stop and frisk policy in 1968 in Ohio. And we're far afield, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but when you look at the numbers, I use an example of two curves. You know, the object of stop and frisk was to get guns off the street, which I think we all agree is a good policy here in New York City. So we're trying to get guns off the street, and then under Rudy we had about 90,000 stops on the curve, and the guns are here, but under Bloomberg, all of a sudden, I'll stand up, all of a sudden the curve for the stops is here and the guns are here, but under Bloomberg, the curve stop goes up here and the guns barely moves. Now, I just don't think that's good cost-benefit analysis, and obviously something is amiss. And I think everybody's been talking about it. What we need in terms of reforming stop and frisk, not getting rid of it, it's more community policing. The NYPD will tell you that. People will tell you that the more cops on the street, people feel comfortable with the police. And things that we've been seeing in the paper throughout the city. You know, in the Bronx, the Times did a large piece on what's going on in the Bronx, and one of the reasons why there's no justice in the Bronx for victims is because people feel afraid. And you're not having cops on the street. So my view on stop and frisk is, you know, last summer, I think we should have tweaked it. We shouldn't be getting rid of it, and I do not believe in another inspector general. My goodness, we don't need more bureaucracy. What we need is accountable people in the positions we've already created to do the things that we've asked them to do. We don't need another level of bureaucracy to kick the can down the road or to move or shift the responsibility to somebody else. So I think we need to address the issue of stop and frisk. It's a good tool. It's sort of lost its way. And as to the bureaucracy, you know, I think we can, you know, spend our resources somewhere else more productively.